Oh yeah, you guys, it was like over 100 degrees here today, which if you heard me complain about this before, that happens like
once in a blue moon.
You guys have heard me complain before. It's like super hot, maybe 3 to 5 days a year around here, so everybody's just in shock. But it's like 7 o'clock at night and it hasn't even cooled down that much. But it's cool enough to chug a nice cold Red Bull, get back in the zone. Been some great comments lately on the channel, and I really need to sit down and respond to everybody. Every single day there's comments from people, the nicest comments, asking questions that I never respond to. No, that's not true. I used to really make a point to sit down every few weeks, but this whole moving thing just really got me off kilter. One of the questions that I've been asked a few times, even recently, was what stereo system you got in there? And so in addition to being a huge Toyota nerd, I've always been into car stereo. As a matter of fact, there's like these TikToks going around right now where they keep showing that old Pioneer stereo with the dolphins. I don't know if people know what I'm talking about. And it's like, you're this old if you remember that. Oh, I don't only remember that. I had that. I had almost every single one of those old school Pioneer decks. Now, I just want to say before we get going real quick, I put the stereo in this thing, it was a couple years ago. 2-3 years ago was when we did the whole system in here. And that's because we sold the Crew Max Tundra in order to start saving to buy a house. And we did that. And so I was like in denial that I was going to have to drive my wife's old Sequoia. So I turned it into this and I made the best of it for the last couple years while we saved and bought the house. But immediately I decided I'm just going to go hog wild and I'm going to put a pretty decent sound system in the Sequoia. And between these 4 receipts right here, we have over $7,000. You can see right here, $650, $871, $4,200. That was the biggie, and $1,589. Everyone, 07 Sequoia, 07 Sequoia, 07 Sequoia. Okay, so back to my point. My point is I did the stereo a couple years ago. So I'm just gonna tell you guys what I paid. I sat and wrote down the exact price off all those receipts of every single component I bought for this thing. This is what I paid for everything. And I know you can get a lot of it a lot cheaper now. Some of the stuff they don't even sell anymore. It's outdated. But I just wanted to be honest with you guys and tell you exactly how much I paid for everything. It would be like right now somebody telling you, yeah, I paid $1,200 for an iPhone 10. And you'd be like, that's crazy. But 5 years ago, that wasn't crazy. You see that? You see where I'm going with that? Anyways, let's jump right in. Let's just start out with probably one of the best parts right here. And that is the technical name is the F309. This is the Alpine Halo. When this head unit came out a long time ago, it was a big deal. This car stereo is old merely by the fact that you still have to plug it in. That's super unfortunate. I think a lot of the new Apple CarPlay is wireless. But anyways, basically it just mirrors I don't know. Everybody knows what Apple CarPlay is. It has Apple CarPlay. But this thing was $999, all right? That's gonna be our first number we're throwing out today. $999 is what I paid for that. And I looked earlier today, and they're still like $949 if you buy them used on Amazon right now. You guys can't understand how hot it is here. We're not used to this right now. It's like I take my hat off, put it back on, it feels like I just got a wet bandana on or something. Got a wet rag on my head. I could have prepared a little better. This piece of trash right here. Does anybody know what that is? As a parent, I know exactly what that is. Exactly. I'm telling you, if anybody knows what this is, I'll give you a hint. Hold something sweet in there. All right, so this is it. Oh my gosh, look how dusty it is. Oh, that's so sad. That is so sad. I should be taking better care of this. We have an RC 150 C5 Gladen, which is a Mosconi German technology. This is a 5-channel amp. That amp right there, that's a bad mofo. I'm gonna tell you that right off the bat. When you start this thing up, you can just see it come alive down there, ready for duty. So it is a Mosconi Gladen. I don't know why it has 2 company names. Look it up. RC 150 C5. That thing was, that's $1,000 amp all day long. I got it for 650 bucks. That's how much I paid on the receipt. 650. I got a pretty good deal on that. This stereo did have the original OEM was that JBL, you know, with the amplified one, but we took that out and we put in a Kenwood XR 1800p. This is that Kenwood Excelon. Let's see. This is a front component set where you get a tweeter and a 7-inch mid-bass speaker, and this is basically the guts, the brains to the unit. We did swap out the backdoor speakers with another set of Kenwood Excelon speakers, but we only used the bottom speaker. We did not retain the tweeter. Both of these are Kenwood Excelon. They were $300 each. $300 for the front and another $300 for the speakers in the back door. $600 total. Some of you might have noticed there was a remote control up on the front seat, and that is for this. Oh yeah, the vehicle needs to be on. All right, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's a 12-inch drop-down screen. That's the Advent ADV12. Paid $1,000 for that. They're $1,000, but it does come with another cool feature, which I'll show y'all's in a minute. All right, moving around out back, sub enclosure. This is just an enclosure I bought online. I paid 350 bucks for it. It had all the specs I was looking for. For these two subs on top, these are just two 12s. They're Pioneer TS D12D2. They're still, I think they're like 180, 200 bucks each, still available. I got them for 150 bucks each is what I was charged for these things. So 150 bucks. Next is the backup camera. This is the VTL 375 HD. And again, this is like 3 years old. So everything's held up super good. I got this thing for $150. That's right, $150. As you may or may not have noticed before, I fired this thing up with this Viper remote. It has remote start, 150 bucks, and I'm gonna go ahead and include it because it was done at the same time, same shop. You know, they're kind of intertwined. Electronics, car stereo, audio, alarm. Good to have an alarm. So, Alpine Halo, 999 bucks. Kenwood component set, 300 for the front, 300 for the back door. Moscone amp, 650. Drop down TV, 1,000. Sub enclosure, 350. Those two Pioneer subs, 12s that are in it, 300 bucks, 150 each. Backup camera was 150. Viper alarm, 850. There's some LEDs that we put in the sub box that are wired to a switch up front. RCAs were actually expensive. We use pretty high-end stuff. And all the other little doodads, $150. This is over $5,000, $1,800 something was how much I paid in labor for everything, which is not bad. It is very quality work. A couple things I want to say real quick. If you're going to have the steering wheel controls functioning, you know, you're going to have to buy this unit for that. So you can always add in an extra 150, 200 bucks for that. Cutting the overhead storage was kind of interesting. You can see it only left us with 5. I think we had to clip like 3 storage containers, 3 storage boxes at the end. It's been a couple years and I have not noticed that I needed those storage areas, so I think I'm okay with that. It has, like I was telling you, even though the head unit is amazing, it still has wired Apple CarPlay, which it's not cool. I want to just be able to hop in and go, plugging it in every time. It's annoying. Oh, and then also in the back on each side we have a set of wireless headphones. All right, but the one little cool detail that I wanted to show was, see that little switch right there? Let's go ahead. So it just got too dark too quick last night, but next day here, this is what the box looks like in the daytime. That thing is heavy. Now, one thing that everybody needs to do if you're going to have a giant subwoofer enclosure in the back of your vehicle is you need to be a responsible subwoofer owner. And what I'm talking about is having some sort of securement. You got to fasten these things down. You get into an accident, I mean, even at 40 miles an hour, and this thing is just going to barrel towards the occupants up front. Now, there's two things that you want to stop from happening. Head-on collision is just going to slam forward, and in a rollover, it's going to kind of just flop around, smashing people in the head. The most important one, and the one that I needed to stop, was the one a head-on collision. So what I came up with was I hooked up some pretty intricate bracketry on the back of the box, some pretty sturdy stuff, and this is like a 10,000 pound like winch rope. And then I these are actually the factory, these are like factory bolt tie downs right here, and we hook these in. These are some pretty intense carabiners. Anyways, so I'm not even necessarily sure if this would 100% stop this thing in a 60-mile-per-hour collision, but I'll tell you what, it's going to do a heck of a good job slowing it down. So I only unbolted this or unhooked it when I showed the box because I just wanted it to look better, but this is always strapped in because I have kids in here a lot. You don't need to be getting killed by your own subwoofer box. So anyways, it's just worth mentioning. So earlier in this video, I said, oh yeah, you know, this is the Alpine Halo F309. Started messing around with it a tiny bit. Ask Siri.
Where do you want to go?
Hey Siri, take us to Disneyland.
Getting directions to Disneyland Park.
Wow, look at this. You can just move over. Oh, there we go. Well, that's pretty crazy. Texarkana, Shreveport. You go. Man, let's go to Africa. Let's go to Europe. Shit, that's crazy. All right, everybody, that's going to wrap up the what stereo system setup do we have in the OG Sequoia video. Everybody leave a comment down below. Let us know where we should have spent the money, where we shouldn't have spent the money, and anything you would have done different, or is it good how it is? And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. That would make us so happy. I cannot even explain it.
Stay tuned for more great videos. We'll see you very soon. Peace.